Hi, I've called this when grief or other feelings gum up the work. Those of you who know me know that I live a very magical life and I take direction from my intuition and from my spirit guides, whom I call the fairies. And when my newly adopted son died in February this year, I felt I wasn't given any choice about completing the play I had begun a couple of years earlier about the magical process of adopting Michael as an adult. And you can hear that story jointly told by Michael and myself in Love on the Other Side of Death, this June 16th at the Zephyr. But when Michael died suddenly on February the 1st, I was plunged into the deepest grief I had ever known. But things kept happening. He'd kind of turn up and give messages to me and other people, and I would know, okay, this is for the play. Oh, and as it was happening, this is for the play, that is for the play. My instructions were loud and clear. So I had no choice, I felt, but to keep going with the work. But I wasn't anticipating how hard the play would be to write, because the different events that happened both before and after his death seemed to be very clear in my mind. And the events that happened were just part of the structure of the play. But the clearness in my mind would disappear into the grief. I would just be overcome with a kind of cloudiness in my brain, and I couldn't write, and I couldn't write, and we were getting closer and closer to the performance date. And so I did what I could do. What I could do was go even deeper into my grief. And I found when I explored the grief and the resistance in writing for the play that I was mining really good material that was helpful for other people and helpful for the audience. So, for example, in this play, I'm a really good girl. God gave me a son whom I absolutely adored and never expected to have. And I'm living a life where I think I'm going to be a grandmother one day, and I think I'm never going to be alone again. And suddenly, after only 2 years, I'm on my own. All of those assumptions and dreams are absolutely shattered. So I say, okay, this is God's will. And I can feel that Michael is happy and so grateful to be out of his body that had plagued him physically and mentally his whole life. It was hard for me to find that part of me minded, that really minded that God had taken away her beautiful gift. Yet that deep sense of loss is a really big part of grief for so many people. So, in terms of writing, if you think you're being vulnerable and you get stuck, just face those feelings and dig deep into them. Because in that pain or shame or resistance or whatever feeling that is slowing up your writing or performing, that's where you'll find the key to release the feeling. If you feel vulnerable, be even more vulnerable. And then you'll get back to that place where you have something golden to share with other people that connects with their experience.